really got to read this book. It's a graphic novel. It's his PhD dissertation.
Today we are eating salad.
Hi, welcome to Makan and Meaning, where I aim to make book videos that are thoughtful, kind, and nuanced. Today we'll be talking about Unflattening by Nick Sousanis. So I think this might be a short video because I think you really got to read this book. It's a graphic novel, and it was his, I believe it's his PhD dissertation, and it's one of my top 3 favorite graphic novels. So one of them is this, one of them is a controversial graphic novel that is still a bestseller in Singapore, and one was last year's Pulitzer Prize winner. Yeah, so I think I wanted to read something a bit easier, but this was not an easy read. I guess the content matter was too heavy, the last book's content matter was too heavy, so I'll read something a bit lighter. But yeah, I forgot that this was, I think I really liked it because it presented philosophy so in such an easy and accessible manner. Read about Deleuze, Wittgenstein, but I think what really struck me was the introduction. Let me show you. I hope the author doesn't mind. Yeah, so I think this one, where people are like in a factory, reminds me of Singapore. So in Singapore, the prescribed educational path is you go to kindergarten, primary school, secondary school or high school, junior college or poly, and then university, and go out to work. So I think a lot of people in Singapore have very fixed mindset, at least parents. So in the past 15 years, I've been teaching students with dyslexia, and even though they show like a lot of imagination, they draw so well, but because of the fact that they can't read and spell very well, sometimes their parents are very worried for them. But I think that it's because as Singaporeans, so I don't blame the parents, because as Singaporeans we have a very fixed way of looking at the world. But when you read this book, I realized that actually we are constrained by our views of the world. So he talks about flatland. Flatland is where I think a square goes out to explore, and because it's a square, he's 2-dimensional, but when he meets a sphere, 3-dimensional creature, he cannot envision what it's like to be 3-dimensional until the sphere like rips him off the 2-dimensional plane. And when they go out, they also meet a dot who is like 1-dimensional, and the world is incredibly small. So the point of the story is that I think if we are stuck in our one frame of reference, we cannot imagine other possibilities, other potentialities out there, and it is to our detriment. So the world is infinitely diverse, infinitely interesting, but if we are stuck in our little mindset, we are like the Chinese proverb say, like the frog at the bottom of the well. You can only see one little patch of sky. So I'll encourage you out there, if you're a young person, or a working adult, or even an older person, you can go out today, try something new, try some different type of food, try read a different kind of book. And yeah, I think it's important to view things in multiple perspectives. I think that brings richness to our life, to our thought life, to the lives we live. And it's important to go out to meet different people, because when you are in your little... When I was an evangelical, I had an evangelical mindset, but when I left the evangelical church, I spoke to Buddhists, spoke to Taoists, spoke to Muslims of different sects. I think that made my world so much richer, and that made me see many parallels between religions. Like there's so many parallels between Buddhism and Christianity, Christianity and Islam, Taoism and Christianity, and I think my world is infinitely richer for that. And I think that only when we go out to meet the other can we experience the world as it truly is, which is truly diverse, truly colorful, and truly beautiful. So I'd like to encourage everyone to pick up a copy of this book if you are able to, and actually read it and unflatten your world. So we don't want to live in flatland, in a two-dimensional world. And there's so much more to life than than the little slice that we currently see. So I guess this is also an encouragement for myself to find hope in the hopeless. I think sometimes we cannot see, I guess because we cannot see the future, sometimes we are constrained by our minds. But if we can try different things every little day and know that there is infinite possibility out there, everything can be the same, but everything can be changed. We have a different video today, and it was such a great book. I think I can't describe it in words because you really need to look at the pictures. If a picture speaks 1,000 words, I think pictures and words speak infinitely more, and I will highly encourage you to read it. My mind's blown when I read this book. It's so good. I guess this is an unconventional book review, but I'm looking forward to Nick Sousanis' second, the follow-up to Unflattening. Thank you for writing this book. I really enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!